Hello and welcome to Startup with Poland, the show where we delve into what are the hottest trends in Poland's startup ecosystem. My name is Tessa McIver and I am your host. I am beyond excited to speak with today's guest, Aleksander Dunin, because he's just taken the lead on implementing and growing a fascinating startup, Timeleft. He's growing this onto the CEE market. I'm not going to say anything more. I want to jump in straight into our conversation and for Alek to tell us all about it. Alek, welcome. It's wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you, Tessa, for the invite. It's great to be here.
I am so excited, as you know, to hear all about Timeleft. So please tell our viewers, what is Timeleft?
Okay, I'll start a bit with the personal story here, okay? So in February, I read an article in Financial Times about, and I checked the title. So there was an app about friendships. Okay. And I got super intrigued. As you know, I was working at Google, so everything that is about the app technology is extremely intriguing to me, and especially apps that you can actually experience easily, right? And especially these that are for people, for society. So I read an article, and it was the journalist went to a dinner with 5 strangers. Okay. It was a Wednesday, and I feel like, wow, I want to experience that. So I installed the app, the Timeleft, and I checked it, and unfortunately, Warsaw was not available there. Okay. So a few days after, I was like, okay, so maybe I can help with that, and I can bring it here. So I decided to reach out to the Max, who's a founder. He's from Paris. That maybe we can actually collaborate on this, and we can bring the Timeleft here.
Fantastic.
Okay, so this is the personal story here, but what I love about Timeleft is its mission. So it was very clearly stated in this article. It's about fighting big city loneliness. And the loneliness in a sense of not being single, but more about, the technology, although social media were meant to connect us with people and bring us even easier connections. In the end, sometimes we can feel that we are more, disconnected, right? Yeah. A lot of course, COVID had a big impact on us and the society. So Timeleft is about bringing people together. Physically. Maybe I'll tell a few words about the process, right? Yes, please do, yeah. I know you did the test already, right? So
but please explain so that everyone's clear, on the process.
You're installing the Timeleft, you're going through some simple questions about yourself, and then you're being matched with 5 people, 5 strangers, and every Wednesday, all around the world, from Buenos Aires through Paris to Auckland, there are dinners at the same time, depending on the time zone and the culture. But yes, every Wednesday we are organizing dinners for strangers. And during the dinner, you are with people there. It's all about conversation. In the app, you can find some ice-breaking questions to help start the conversation. But actually, although we are a tech startup, we believe that when people meet the tech, this is the moment when tech can go, out, right? It's not needed. Okay. So it's about bringing again the opportunity for people to meet other people, meet interesting people, sometimes out of their network, out of their bubble, So it's this is how I started. This is how I got intrigued, and we can see that so many people are actually in this need. Like right now we have every Wednesday over 13,000 people all over the world. Wow. In Paris, 500 people every week. The same in New York, in Sao Paulo. I can tell about it. There are so many different also shades in this Timeleft. Our target group, the main group, is from 25 to 40. But we have users born in 1948. She's the oldest in Buenos Aires. So there is also about connecting generations, right? This is an extremely important thing. The other, I think, very important here in Timeleft, we got a feedback from a Brazilian psychiatrist a few weeks ago. She actually decided to recommend her patients who are suffering from depression to go to the Timeleft dinners because it's easier for them to meet with strangers, that they will not judge them. They don't know who they are, so they can. And then of course there's this healing power, meeting with others. Right?
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And as you said, I was so intrigued that I did go on and I filled out, the form. I haven't yet been on a dinner, but I do plan to go.
Yeah, we're waiting for this.
But I was, really interested by the questions that I was asked. So, some are obviously quite obvious, what age group do you fall into and so on. But then there were some that were more, I don't know, are you more interested in political correct conversation, or are you more sort of serious conversation or whatever? In a way it was difficult to answer these, because I thought, well, what if I end up at a dinner with somebody who's really somehow very unpolitically correct in a way that would make me feel uncomfortable. I mean, I guess what I really made me think was, how does the algorithm match, and does it match that you are with similar people, or does it indeed actually bring about that diversity? And I mean, okay, you could never be sure that you're going to meet 5 other people who you genuinely then become best friends for life. And I guess this is not necessarily the aim. But, can you say a bit more about how it matches?
Sure. Of course, well, we are matching based on rather similarities. We are trying to bring people, right now at least, in a similar age to the table. But of course, we have the idea of maybe also, if people will say that they want to meet people maybe older or younger, this is kind of a future for Timeleft. But right now it's rather, when people are asking for whom is Timeleft, and because I was working with startups, and when founder would answer it's for everyone, I would be like, okay, it's like, if it's for everyone, then it's for no one.
Yeah.
So I realized that Timeleft is for people that are open to others and open, and curious, right? So everyone who is there, and all the people that I've met are actually curious. I have never met anyone who'd be, radically on the other side. Everyone is very open. And even if I met people that have different political beliefs than mine, it was actually great to talk about them. But because they were so open, there was no, closed mindset, no radicalism there. Everyone was curious to learn from the other. So I think this is what connects, what is one for all the Timeleft users, right? This openness, and this is what is also so amazing about it. So we are matching people based on the answers, based on the age, the language they can speak and they want to speak, and then of course, if there is a difference, still everyone who is there is so open that the conversation is just floating.
Wonderful. I really can't wait till I go on one of these dinners. But what about, okay, this is more maybe a technical question, but it's something that really sort of interested me as well when, there was also a question, which band of 3 categories would I want to pay for the dinner, etc. Who selects the restaurants? How do you sort of put the group in the kind of correct restaurant?
It's us who are choosing the restaurants.
Okay.
We are selecting the restaurants. So in every city we are working at, we have city insiders who is recommending us the best restaurants. Okay. They have to be well located. That's the first thing. They have to have good reviews, and they have to be it's. One thing is about, of course, people, but then there is a food there.
Yeah.
It's also important part of Timeleft. So we are choosing the restaurants that can serve, that there is a good service, the food is good. And we have the city insiders who are doing kind of
that's the research,
a research and tell us which restaurants are good. And then of course in the app, you're answering about your food preferences, food restrictions. So then again, based on your answers, we are choosing the restaurant that will be a good fit for you and the group.
Okay. But you must have to have quite a large volume of people to be able to actually make those matches, right? Because if only 5 people apply, and how sort of, I know that you've launched very recently in Poland, so how do you, especially at the beginning, get that momentum to ensure that you have enough people to be able to actually make the right fits?
Right now in Warsaw, we have over 70 people every week.
Okay.
So that's
that's a fair group. If
for a
each
group,
group
yes.
has 5 people,
Yes,
that's
and
not bad.
we see the diversity in nationalities. Although this is the thing that was surprising to me. At first, when I learned about Timeleft, I thought that it can be especially common among expats, but actually, from 60 to 70% of the users are locals.
Okay.
That's very interesting, right? And I think this says about the loneliness in a way,
Yeah.
right? This modern loneliness where we
Yeah.
are. But the algorithm is matching people, so we don't have to. It's not. We are not wedding planners there. There is a technology behind it. Although there are situations when we cannot find a good fit for the person, and then we are reaching out to that person and we are asking if, for example, if this person is a bit younger or older than the others we can fit, if that would be okay for that person.
Okay.
So we are setting the expectations before. And of course, our goal is to provide the best experience for everyone. This customer experience is also extremely important to us, so that people know if there is something different to what they are expecting, that they know before they are coming there. And then, of course, if they will not feel comfortable in one or the other situation, then we are refunding and inviting for next dinner next week, because we are, every week we have new users, right, from different groups joining.
No, well, I mean, I'm amazed that you've already managed to get 70 in Warsaw in just such a short time. So that's impressive. But tell me more about the geographic reach, because you've mentioned, obviously that the founder is from Paris, and you've mentioned, various cities where the app is based. But in a way, how did that grow? So I guess it started in Paris, but what's been the geographic expansion?
Actually, the first dinners were in Lisbon.
Right. Okay.
Yes, it's a good city for for dinners. A lot of expats and an amazing food scene. There are 2 founders, and one of them is from Paris. So he decided to move back, and right now Paris is it is the biggest city.
Okay.
But the first dinners were in Lisbon. Then it was Porto. Then then the first dinners started in France.
Okay.
And at some point, it just clicked. There is this moment of this product market fit, and it was like the Brussels, and then Madrid, Barcelona, London, and then US, Latin America is Brazil is and US is it's bringing us a lot of we have a lot of users there. The first dinner was on May last year.
Okay.
So it's not just a year, right?
Yeah.
And right now we are hiring 40 people, and we have.
But globally.
Globally, yes. We have 45 now. Max said that actually this year we were hiring 1 person every week. This is
wow,
right. It's a great adventure, but it also says a lot about the problem there is. We also see a lot of similar ideas. The supper clubs, running clubs are also kind of about the same, right? Spending time with people. I feel that actually people are learning more about themselves. That they actually need to spend time with people. They're so tired of being in front of the screen, in front of the, isolated from others, and they just want to.
Yeah. But I think also, it's such an exciting opportunity to meet new people, because unless we change our job or, maybe start a course or something, once you're an adult and have got out of, you made your first sort of initial friends, let's say at school, then at university or whatever, and after that, there are not that many, as I said, unless you change your job, opportunities to on a daily basis meet new people. I think partly because of technology, indeed, what you said, because I think things obviously used to be different, where I know people would go to a bar in the expectation that they're going to meet somebody, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't weird to go and talk to someone you didn't know.
Right.
Whereas now, I think we've become very private and very...
Yeah, even, looking in the eyes, right, on the street, it's, or smiling to someone, people are not reacting to it.
No.
Yeah.
But what I'm also really interested in is, because I know that, for many years you were a partnerships manager at Google. And you were obviously in touch and got an insight into so many startups. And what was like the personal motivation for you to I suppose, become part of a startup, or I guess at this point we can say scale up, Okay, I understand that, all the fantastic qualities of Timeleft, but was it particularly because it was Timeleft? Or were you just really keen after seeing so much innovation to actually be the innovator yourself as a side to supporting that?
It's both. Of course, working with founders and seeing, as you mentioned, I was working at Google for Startups. It's a global team, but we have 6 campuses all over the world. In Sao Paulo, in Madrid, Warsaw, Tel Aviv, Seoul, and Tokyo. And I was working both with founders, but also with different communities and partners here here in the CEE. Startup, it's at some point you just feel you want to do this, want to try it. It's not easy. Actually, it's very challenging.
Yeah.
Here, I'm not the founder. I'm responsible for the Central and Eastern Europe. But I can see that the decisions you have to make, the tempo you have to work, the growth and the speed. There's a lot of adrenaline in this, but seeing also the impact of like a real impact, right? And this is again, I think the Timeleft here, because we have these dinners every Wednesday, we can see people joining and then we can read the feedback. But I think that the idea of joining a startup, it was, of course, I love the impact of Timeleft, but the idea of joining a startup, at some point it was just growing in me for the past few years. While I was working with founders, I was like, it's life's too short not to try it, right? And I can, if I will feel it's maybe not the best move, I can make a step back. But I would regret if I would not do this. Not try it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I can completely, resonate with those sentiments.
If I can add one more, because I was working with, as you mentioned, as a partnership manager, I was working with different partners, and one of the partnerships that I'm especially proud of is one with the e-converse.
Okay.
It's they are organizing hackathons for high school students.
Okay.
And we are also working with them with it's a Warsaw Startup Club. It's an initiative for the students from all the Warsaw universities. But I can tell from both the hackathons for high school students, they were the semifinals were in the Google for Startups campus, and then the final was in June on the National Stadium.
Oh wow!
There are so many people, like young people, that just want to do the startup.
Yeah.
When I was growing, I feel that for my generation, working in a tech company was like, it's a cool thing. Like, Google has a great brand, especially in Poland. It was kind of a dream. But I see that the dream for young people is actually to become a founder now.
Yeah.
Right? It's from so many people. And it's amazing. There are so many people that they just have their idea and they just want to test it. And there is so much knowledge around and such a great access to smart people, to mentors, right? Everyone wants to help and share their experiences.
Yeah.
So
No, for sure, the infrastructure has just, and the support that's available and so on. People are not walking, with a mask over their eyes, but actually, can get some support if they decide to, become a founder, which is an exciting thing to do.
It is, so. And this like a startup lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
It's because working in a startup is also kind of a lifestyle. Sometimes a lot of travels, working from, sometimes it's not from 9 to 5, right?
No, although I think probably it has a negative impact on the work-life balance. All in all.
Yes, of course. You just have to take rest at some point.
And really take care of your mental health.
Exactly.
But I mean, that was actually, one of the things also, Alec, that I wanted to ask you about is, since you did see, even though you had a sort of very global perspective, but when you take the Polish market or, maybe CEE, what do you think are the specific challenges, like biggest challenges, because there are hundreds of challenges, but the biggest challenges that affect Polish startups or startups from the region, on their journey? What really is standing in their way of, all becoming, unicorns? Or
I mean, well, first, something that is, I guess it's still, there are two, let's say, like obvious or kind of common reasons. One, of course, is money comparing to US or to the Western Europe. Then the other is, there was an extremely interesting report from Endeavor this year. So how the successful startups, how they can actually build ecosystem and share their experience. So we know the PayPal mafia, right? So there's this, the knowledge that is like falling on, if we have like a Booksy, right? People that are coming from Booksy, who worked there, who are on this like a Booksy orbit. Once we have more and more successful startups, then we'll have more successful startups. But what I see, it's more my personal point of view here, is that, I'll tell again how I got to the idea.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, we have 6 campuses around the world. Yeah. And 2 years ago, campus in Seoul launched English lessons for founders. And I was like at first I was like, here it's not a big problem, I think, in this ecosystem. But they spotted the big problem. And sometimes the big problem, it's not about, sometimes it can be kind of general. It doesn't have to be only about the business, sales, marketing. It can be more like English lessons in Korea. So we started discussing what actually we can bring, what kind of values that are not business so much. And at some point we understood that the soft skills, and this like a set of soft skills, how you are managing the team, how you are open for the feedback, how you are brainstorming with the team, how you are running the projects, how you are communicating, not only about the, pitching to the investors, but about being a founder who has a team.
Yeah, so more the human aspect.
Yes,
really.
Exactly. And so we have just launched together with Bart Jurkowski. He's running a school improv. So he's like applied improv, right? So we are bringing course of improv skills, how to create a storytelling, how to talk to people, how to build kind of a confidence in the interaction. Even even if you're going to a dinner with strangers or going to a networking event. When you compare like a founder from CE to the founder, from US, let's say, it's completely different energy, right? And you can understand, kind of like change your mindset, like get more confidence, like learn that it's not not put all the worst scenario. What would people think about you, right? We were just talking a bit about it before we started. But this is what we are bringing. So I think that this, like a human skills, soft skills, this is where we want founders to grow. And I think it's we had 2 courses now, and we get very good feedback. So I feel it's promising, and it will be super valuable to them.
I'm already thinking of all the people I need to recommend this course to.
No, because on many courses on MBA and best universities, applied improv is actually part of the core course, right? Yeah. So it's there. It's not that it's something new, but it's new here in this region. Fresh, let's say. Yeah. No, for sure, and I do agree that even though the brains that so many founders that I meet here in Poland are fantastic, but not always the people's side is the strongest. And you cannot build it on your own.
No, it's not something you can read about in a book and be done. Alek, what are the future plans for Timeleft? You said that that the workforce is going to be doubling. It's just amazing, and of course, I imagine growth. But what is the if you can outline sort of the ambitions of where the company wants to be, and also not only globally, but also you specifically for the area that the geographic area that you look after. What are you aiming to achieve?
Globally, we are launching new cities every week. Last Wednesday, we launched Stockholm and Tbilisi.
Okay.
Next week, we have Copenhagen, Budapest. We are launching cities every week. The plan is to have 250 by the end of the year. We have Japan in October and September, and also other cities in Asia. So, of course, right now we are just launching, and the idea is that with one app, with Timeleft, you can go not only where you're living, but if you're traveling somewhere, you can just with the same
that's
app.
a great way to actually meet a local community.
Yeah. And on one of the dinners, I met a Dutch who is working. He came for a few weeks to Warsaw. He was working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and he's local activist as well. It was great to meet him, and it's the goal is to build like a global opportunity, global platform for people to meet new people. So this is the goal. The goal, of course, like with the numbers, it's to connect 1 million people every week. It will not be next Wednesday, but maybe maybe in 2 weeks. But yes, we are working on this. But to get there, there is a lot about educating people in a way, like showing that they like that this. It's when I'm talking to my friends, the first reaction is it's amazing, but then some of them are a bit afraid. They're not comfortable there. But I think that, again, this impact I was mentioning is when we get the feedback from introverts that they said, thank you. They are like, this is what what gave us kind of confidence to get there and meet new people, which is kind of challenging for us. So to get to this 1 million people every week, we are planning to educate people a bit about how great it is to meet new people and spend some time and open to it and be curious. I'll be launching Nordics. We launched Stockholm, and we'll be launching next cities very soon. But also Eastern Europe will be like a great region for Timeleft as well. People are so eager, and there is this culture of going out, spending time together.
Yeah. Eating good food.
Eating good food also, yes. I can wait when I go to Tbilisi.
I know.
Yes, the Georgian food. It's
fantastic. Well, I really can't wait to go on my dinner. But the moment I get back from my holidays, I'm
waiting for it. Yes, I'm waiting for your feedback as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, but I do understand as well when you say that, the point about educating, because as well, anyone I've mentioned to, and especially my reaction as well when I first heard about Timeleft was wow. But then it is actually a different step to go in and fill out the form, and then also to book yourself in for the dinner, right? There's quite a big mental step between doing one saying amazing and actually turning up to the dinner, right?
Yes.
So
I think it all again, different person, different story.
Yeah.
But yes, for many people, it's not easy. But once they go, they are actually so happy, right? We are receiving like very good opinions and these thank you notes from people for whom this was challenging at the beginning.
And the story will just keep on growing as well, I guess, because you said that, the first dinner took place in May 2023.
Yes.
But, you don't know what will happen. I know the aim is not the romantic thing, but maybe there will be some marriages that result, or, some Timeleft children, or even, just best friends that are born.
Of course.
So, or, business collaborations, right?
Yes. So, I think, so Timeleft is for, because it's for people, as many people, there will be as many stories, right?
Yeah.
There probably will be romantic stories. It's that it's the starting point in this dinner, because there is a group of 6 people. It's just a good time together in a group.
Yeah.
That's it. But of course, it can turn into
what
romantic.
happens? Yeah.
We're thinking about maybe adding in the future features where you can go like women want to go only with other women, men only with other men.
So you say sort of more of a selection of you
could like adding more options to the user, right? So we're actually also thinking about maybe adding something for parents only, right?
Okay, so that they have the really specific interest But well, wonderful. Well, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the bold move as well to go out of your comfort zone in the day job and start something completely new. So that's in itself is really impressive. But I'm going to be looking very closely and looking forward to speaking with you again about how things are developing.
Sure, I'll be happy to share all of it. And yes, I'm also we know at Timeleft what will happen tomorrow, but we don't know what will happen in a week, right? What other stories we'll discover.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Alek, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been fascinating, and I'm sure our viewers are all now logging into to the app.
I hope, yeah. I hope. Thank you again for for inviting me and for having me here and for this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to our viewers. And join us next time for Startup with Poland.